Ready? Go! A new record!
Hello, pilots of the internet. Welcome to Foldable Flight. My name is Kyle, and this is where I teach you how to fold paper airplanes that will blow your mind. And in this video, I am teaching you how to fold my best paper airplane, Plasma X, the long-awaited brother of Plasma Y and Plasma Z. And you can see, as I teased in that intro, this plane flies incredibly well. I mean, it will hit the top of the wall at the far side of the gym. I think this thing easily flies over 150 feet. It might cross 200 feet. I really need to get a space big enough to test this one, because if any plane of mine can cross 200 feet, this would be the one to do it. So, as you guys know, I like to not only design the folding sequence of my planes, but I love to create illustrated templates for my planes as well. So if you support me at the templates and more tier on Patreon, you can gain access to this template as well as the templates for all of my YouTube planes, so that when you fold your plane, it can look amazing like this rather than just be a boring white sheet of paper. So honestly, I think this might be one of my best templates yet. I'm really happy with the way this kind of magmatic look really enhances the aesthetic of Plasma X and just makes this, I think, one of the coolest planes on the channel. Now, also just a really quick announcement about my Patreon. If you become an $8 patron, I send out paper airplanes each month, a pre-folded plane to you. Now, you have to be in the US, but I'll send that domestically to your address, and you get a pre-folded plane. Now, the really cool thing that's happening is I am currently working on a book that I'm going to try to get out this year. And so that means I am constantly folding prototypes of the planes that are going to be in that book. That's a ton of content that is not yet released on YouTube. Nobody else is even getting to see it. I'll give you guys a little teaser here so you can look. If you support me at the $8 tier on my Patreon, you will get to receive unreleased planes, pre-folded planes that I haven't released anywhere else. And you can see the illustrated templates and everything on those. So head over to patreon.com, and if that is interesting to you, support me there, because I'm going to be cranking out a lot of really cool new and unreleased content for my patrons here in the near future. Now, without any further ado, I'm going to show you guys how this plane really flies, and I'm going to teach you how to fold it. All you will need in order to fold Plasma X is an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper. And with that, we're going to begin by folding this in half from the left edge to the right edge, or right edge to left edge, like so. And as always, accuracy here is very important. Symmetry in your plane is more important even than getting any fold exactly correct. But here we are creating the right and left halves of our plane, and it's going to be very important that we try to match those corners up perfectly. Once you have done that, we'll just open it back up. I'm actually going to flip the paper over, and I want to fold the top 2 inches of my plane down. So you can see here I have a nice grid that tells me what 2 inches is. If you don't have a grid, really, if you just estimate, you're going to be fine. This doesn't have to be an exact measurement. And if you use my template, the 2 inches will be marked out for you. Okay, and now that I have done that, I'm going to actually fold this in half on our existing crease. And I'm going to fold this top edge to that edge right there. And I'll flip it over and do the same thing here, top edge to this edge. And we'll open this all back up. The next step is to take this point here and fold it to this point right here. Make sure that your point lands on the center crease. Okay, and next we're going to create some reference creases. First, by taking this edge to that top edge. I'm going to rotate this just a little bit so I can see it better. And I'll unfold that. And now I'm going to take this edge here to this edge here. And I'll unfold that. So now you can see we have these nice creases, and those are going to help us with a step called a swivel fold. So if you don't know what a swivel fold is, it's really not that complicated. In this example, we're going to be lifting this pocket here, and we want to create a crease that runs right along the edge of our top layer. So just holding this down, I'm going to pull this up, and kind of with my finger, I'm going to rub against that crease, or that edge, and make a crease. Now you can see right along where that top layer was, and it should go all the way into that corner. And having done that, I will pull, this is the swivel part, I'll pull these layers this way and start flattening these layers like this. And the way that we tell how far we want to go is we're going to create a new edge here, let me do it, that lands right on this crease. So I'll do that and you'll get to see exactly what it looks like. And then you crease this outer edge as well. And you can see this crease here lands on the reference there. So that's how you know how far to take your layers. So we'll do the same thing on the other side here. We're just lifting up, creating a crease that runs along this layer. And now we'll just swing this whole section this way and flatten it so that this edge lands on our reference crease right there. And I'm just going to actually match this one up to the other side because, again, symmetry is more important than folding any step perfectly. And so once I've done that, I know this is correct, I can just sweep outwards on this edge to create that crease as well. And now your plane should look like this. The next step is just to open up these flaps kind of where they naturally want to break on that crease right there. You can see, here I'll open this up, it's going to break along that crease there. So I want to keep control, sorry, I'll just put everything back as it was. I want to keep control of these layers because if I don't hold them, they will kind of move as I swing this back. I want to hold that flat down and just flip this back right along its natural break. And I'll do the same thing here. And our plane should now look like this. And the next step, we're just going to fold little tabs here by taking this edge to this edge. Like so. And I'll do the same thing on this side. Your plane should look like this. And I'm going to actually unfold both of those tabs now. These tabs are going to be really important in the next step, so kind of mentally take note of that, and I'll show you. We're going to first, I said the next step, it's the step after this one. These tabs will be very important. We're going to take this edge here and fold to center. And we'll fold the other side to match. Okay, so now let me show you what these tabs are for. You can see we kind of have this pocket right here that exists beyond, on the outside of this crease right here. There's a pocket, And it actually happens to be shaped just big enough for this tab to fit in. So what I want to do is I want to close this, and then I'm going to tuck the tab into this pocket. Now that's a little bit difficult, and I'm going to do it on both sides, but one at a time. So I close this, and now I can look into this whole section, and I can tuck that tab right into that pocket. And then once I kind of get it in, I'll lay it flat and just kind of push it all flat like that. And you can see now, oh, well, it's coming unfolded. You can see that will have a tendency to lock those layers together. And I'll do the same thing on this side. I'll close it, and I'll look in to that section, and I'm just trying to tuck this tab into that pocket. So I actually need to look at it this way from myself. And you can see kind of what I'm doing right there, tucking it into that pocket. And once I get it, I'm just going to press it all flat. And now you can see all those layers hold together. The next step is simply to fold it in half like so on our existing center crease. And now all we have to do is fold some wings. So the wing crease is going to start just a little bit above the nose of the plane. And the trick is we want to take this edge here and land it so it just hides this back corner of the plane. So let me do it, and then I'll kind of show you how I arrived at the exact angle of the wing crease that I did. So now you kind of see me. I was swinging this edge just until it hides this corner, and that's when I know how to crease it. And I will flip it over, and I just want to fold this side to match my other wing. Even if I didn't get my first wing exactly correct, the idea here is we want to preserve symmetry and fold this wing to match our first wing. And there you go. You now have a finished Plasma X. This thing should fly brilliantly for you. You'll want to angle the wings up just slightly like this. This is called dihedral angle, and you may need to bend the back edges of the wings up slightly as well. That's called up elevator, and that'll keep the plane from nose diving a little bit. Now, there's a lot of weight forward on this plane, which is part of what lets it maintain its forward momentum so well, but it can lead to the plane diving down just slightly, and that's what bending the back edges of the wings up can help prevent. So there you go. If you need any more help getting your plane to fly properly, I'll leave a link in the end card to a video that will teach you exactly how to throw and adjust your planes to fly optimally. And I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time.